Hey, Lucas here, and I wanted to share an idea for two-sided PLL recognition to see if I could get any good feedback. So the idea behind two-sided PLL recognition is that when you get to PLL at this stage, you can always just look at the two sides that are facing you if you're holding it at an angle and figure out exactly what PLL it is. Because you can tell what this corner is, and there's only one corner that has blue on this side of the two side colors on PLL, and this one and this one. So you can tell all the corners and the two edges, and then there's two edges on the back, but there's only one way that they can be switched. But I'm sure you found yourself in a situation like this, where you've got something that looks kind of like a T-perm or an R-perm, but unless you've practiced it, you can't tell them apart very quickly. And the difference here is that there's a red sticker here, and there's an orange sticker there on the left cube, and that's the only difference between them. So even though you can always tell which one it is, it could take some work, and it might be faster to just look around and see, T-perm, R-perm. So a while ago, Andy Klisa came up with a system for two-sided PLL recognition that I thought was actually pretty alright. The idea was you look at two of the sides and figure out which of these patterns they have. They correspond to a number, and then you look up the patterns here. So you'd have like a 7, 8 for this part of the U-perm. But there's all these exceptions, like this one, and all these non-unique cases. And what I wanted to do was condense the non-unique cases into as few things as possible. The basic idea is that when you're looking at one side of a PLL, then there's 3 stickers, and if you think of the blue and green pair as the same kind of tone, and the red-orange as one kind of tone, there's always going to be 2 of the same tone that strike you. So in this case, there are 2 blue stickers of the same tone, and this adjacent color. Here, there's 2 opposite colors, green and blue. Here there's 2 greens, and here's these 2 oranges. The red is also the same tone, but the headlights here strike you first. So there's always something obvious. And as one more case, here's 2 adjacent, red and orange with an adjacent, next to each other here there's 2 orange and red with an adjacent green. So the basic idea is to figure out which 2 colors match, so that corresponds to a certain consonant, and then what the extra color is, whether it's adjacent or opposite or very different. So this would have the letter L because there's these 2 matching blues on the left. This one, the 2 pseudo-matching ones are headlights. They're M because they're split over the middle. And then these 2 are on the right. And then when you've recognized these 2, this one can either be adjacent, in this case it's red, and so it's adjacent, or it can be opposite, and in this case it's an O. So this is L-O for low, this is L-A for la, L-A for la. These are going to be opposite headlights is M, and because there's 3 colors, it's the letter I, either for intermixed colors or just because I is the leftover vowel, and that just works out that way. So this is M-I, me. Here's another me. These 2, the block that jumps out at you is on the left, and this is adjacent, so this is going to be but this is not going to be a la, because these are, there's 3 colors overall, so it's li. So when there's 2 of the same colors, it's going to be either an A or an O, otherwise it's going to be an I. So the full list, so this is a full list of all cases, including the solved case, which I just call so. And there's a bunch of nice properties about this, such as you can do this without assigning numbers, and there's a relative consistency to it. And there's these diagrams that sort of help you as a mnemonic. So as an example here, these 2 blues match, so they're both given a black dot and connected, and then the adjacent color is a plus because it's different. So this is la. But the low example, for example from the N-perm, is going to have these 2 matching black circles and an opposite circle. And there's this different diagram li here, which represents the 2 opposite colors that are next to each other, and then the adjacent green, which is next to them. So the cool thing is that almost every PLL can be recognized by just figuring out what's on the left and what's on the right. And I don't currently have diagrams, but I have this sheet, and anything is going to be listed here. So if we look at our troublesome case, this is an L La M E, so it's going to be La Mi, and La Mi is listed here twice as an adjacent sort of thing. So what it means here, which is the R perm and here the T perm, is these two are adjacent and you don't have to do any U-turns to start the PLL if you're going to use one of these setups. So in this case, this is perfectly set up for a T perm. And this is also going to be La Mi, and it's set up for an R perm. So in this case, you still have to do extra work to tell which PLL you have, but often it's enough. For example, if I look at it like this, then this is going to be M-A, Ma, and L-A, La. And if you look here, there's only one place that Ma, La shows up. So it's in the column with the U, so I'm going to do U-turn, and then I'm going to do, the PLL starts with R-U, that's an R perm. So, and that solves it. So this handles auf before the PLL, but then afterwards you have to recognize that. So most of these are uniquely determined. Then there's two special cases you have to handle, which are the mama and mimi cases, and the cases that on this diagram cross the danger zone. So for example, here the la or li can go to ma or mi, and anything that goes straight from here to here, like a T perm from this angle, is ambiguous. In this case, it goes from here to here, or from there to there. So instead of Andy's confusing extra non-unique cases, this is the simplest I could get it. Either from here to here to here to here, you do a special thing. Everything else is going to be handled differently. So what special thing do you do? Well, you look at the pluses. So this was La Mi, and the plus is here and here. This is the extra piece, this is the extra piece, the extra color, the third color. And these are opposite, because they're red and orange. Whereas for the R perm, these were the same color. So the same color I call plus, the opposite color I call minus. And if we look up La Mi here, there's La Mi with a minus between them, and La Mi with a plus between them. And that handles those. And in fact, a bunch of the PLLs only have minuses, a bunch of them only have pluses, and then the A perms can have both. Then there's also the mi and ma cases. For example, here is a Z perm which has ma, and what you do for those cases is you look at the middle four stickers here and see how many colors they have. They're going to have 2, 3, or 4 colors. In this case, there's 4 colors. So the ma case with 4 colors is a Z perm, and in this case, the one that starts directly with R prime actually is how I do it. So from here, I start it directly in. Then if there's 2 colors for a ma case, you do this. For PLL, if there's 3 colors for a ma case, there's the 2 U perms, and you have to tell which direction they go. And the same thing for mi. Here, for example, is an E perm, which is mi. You look at the middle. This has 3 colors, and so it's going to be one of the mi cases. 3 colors happens to be the E perm. And E perm has this nice trick where you look at this very middle piece, and one of the 2 colors, blue or orange, is going to be an adjacent piece, this orange one. So this orange has to cross that orange. So that's how I handle that. And in fact, just looking at what syllables they are, and then in the case of the crossing the red zone, the extra piece, whether they're matching or not, or the number of colors for the mama and mimi cases, will always let you know which PLL it is, which is very convenient. Plus, the names are kind of fun. There's this case, which is so. Mi. Rilo rimori. Liro limoli. La lola sola. Rarora sora. Mo. Lo. Lo.